is going to quickly go over a review of how to find the area of rectangles and squares. We've done this in class before, but later this week we're going to find the area of irregular figures, so I figured it would be a really good time to review those formulas. A lot of kids get area and perimeter confused. Perimeter is when I ask you to measure this outside of the shape, so the distance around the outside, kind of like if you were to put a fence around a yard. But area is what's inside of the shape. So on this first one, it's an example of how to find the area of a square, and this is a checkers board. With squares, all sides are the exact same length. So if you're given one side length, then you know the side lengths of all sides. On this one, though, it tells you it's 25 centimeters. It also tells you in inches, it's 9.84 inches, but since 25 is not a decimal, I'm just going to use that. Your formula for area of a square is to take the side length and square it. So since the sides are 25, it's 25 squared, which is just 25 times 25, which would be 625. And then you always need to label, especially on this one since it gave you the label in centimeters and inches. We used centimeters. And then you always need that little squared. If you're on a keyboard, you can put SQ for squared. The next one is going to be over how to find the area of a rectangle. So this is an American flag. With a rectangle, you'll have two different side lengths. If they're the same, it would be considered a square. But you find the formula, or you find the area that's pretty much the same way. You multiply the two sides. So on this one, it says that all the way across the top is 26 inches, and then the side is 13.75 inches. So we actually have a decimal to work with on this one, but you take the length, which was 26, and you're going to multiply it by the width, which was 13.75. I did not do a very good job at lining those numbers up how you would need to multiply, but you guys are allowed to use a calculator on this. I've already multiplied it out. It's 357.5. Let me double check and make sure I copied that down right. Yeah. Our label was inches squared. And then again, if you're on a keyboard and you don't know how to put that little baby 2 in there, you can just write out SQ dot. When you guys go through these slides, these are all items that I've found inside of my house. So on the last slide, I'm going to ask you guys to find something in your house and measure it. If you don't have a ruler or a tape measure, you can just estimate it. Make sure that when you're estimating, you put whether you're estimating it in inches or centimeters or feet or yards. It really just depends on what you're measuring. If you're measuring something huge, maybe you do yards or feet. It's up to you guys. You're going to tell me what item you measured, what the measurements were, and then what the area of it is. Now remember, area is the inside, not the outside.